Hello, welcome back. We trust that you enjoyed the insert. And right now with me, I have a very special guest who are going to be talking to us about the purpose for education. I have with me Treasure and Ayolo. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Student Life. Now you guys are from an organization called Bright Minds, is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Now I'm sure the people at home want to know, what inspired you to start Bright Minds?
Well, personally, I've always believed that everyone needed to be literate and educated. Now, if you have checked our website, you will know that we believe education is a gateway to opportunity. Now, when I'm talking about opportunity, don't hear jobs. I'm not talking about a job.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about opportunity, I'm talking about a different way of thinking. I'm talking about relational connections. I'm talking about career connections. You know, education broadens one's horizons, you know. It gives a person opportunities they never knew existed. Hence, it is very important. It is not only about passing our exams. It is not only about getting our degrees, but it's about developing our minds. It's about improving ourselves and refining our gifts and abilities. That's what's inspired me, and that's why I'm here right now.
Wow, okay. Basically, you guys saw a need behind having such an organization, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Treasure, please give us a bit more.
It's also in the fact that we were so concerned about the human value, the value of a human person. The fact that we think people almost spend almost all their lives without understanding who they are, why they came to this world. Because you see, we talk about education, of course, but we're focusing on this beyond the walls of a classroom. So we thought of, okay, what can we do to help people understand why they came here? So that if they pursue education, they pursue it in the right way. So we took it upon ourselves. Our vision is to educate people, you know, about their purpose for being so that they can be relevant in life. Because once you understand why you're here, then you'll be relevant. So that's where we got motivated, we got inspired to say, okay, we want to help everybody around us to understand. I tell you, 95% of the population in the whole world don't know why they came to planet Earth. They may be living, of course, but it's all to nothing. So we took it upon ourselves to say, okay, well, we're establishing this organization. We want to help you pursue your purpose for being.
Wow. So Bright Minds, from my understanding, is far beyond just education. It's actually giving people, or young people specifically, a purpose for life and actually giving them the principles on how they can actually go about finding their purpose and actually living it out.
Definitely.
I'm inspired. Now, one of the means that you guys are using to actually portray your goal and vision as far as Bright Minds is concerned is that you have an app, am I correct?
Yes.
Now, please do tell us about this app.
We don't only have an app, we also have an online magazine. Now, this is like our online communication, which we use to build communities, which we use to support learning in universities, in schools, and in many other organizations. This is what we use for connecting educators to what things should be like.
Yeah. Now, looking at the state of Africa in particular, as far as education is concerned, how is Bright Minds actually reaching out to impact young people as far as improving them and training them in such a platform you guys have started?
Well, we have educational seminars that we hold. For instance, from 2 weeks back, I've been having motivational talks and mentorship programs at the University of Johannesburg with some of my peers. And I think that it's our job in Bright Minds to help young people maintain a positive attitude. You know, they should start making things happen for themselves. They should stop worrying about what the other person is achieving and doing. Your life is about breaking your own limits. Look at what you have, use what you have. We all have gifts. But I can tell you, not all of us open the package. So it's time you open that package and you make things happen for yourself.
Okay. Guys, I want to know something. Is education going to a classroom or sitting there and listening to the lecturer? What is education specifically? Is education studying? Is it, because somebody at home is sitting, because you know many successful people around the world that would say you need education to actually become who you want to be and actually become influential in life. So does it mean I have to go to school, or please give us insight on as far as your understanding as far as education is concerned?
Well, It's far beyond the four walls of a classroom.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's emphasized within the four walls of a classroom, but it's far beyond that. You know, as I said earlier, it's about developing our minds, improving ourselves, refining our gifts and abilities. It's not just about writing a test and passing. That's not the purpose for education.
The subjects learn.
Okay, I can see that he has a lot to say.
Yeah.
Then something just jumped up because it's a question that came into my heart, and I believe people at home actually were thinking about this. So, am I educated when I have a degree? Am I educated when I have a diploma? Am I educated when I have certain qualifications from a certain university? Am I now qualified to say, okay, I'm educated? Treasure?
To some standard, you are, because of what we're looking into right now is the fact that you are being measured now with a certain educational system, certain educational requirements. So you could be said to be, you know, educated, as it were. But then the proof of education is not so much as the certificate you got, is the fact that you can apply what you learned. You see, is the fact that your mind has quite been developed. Your abilities have been trained now. You can be productive with everything you've learned within the classroom. I wouldn't say you proved to be qualified as maybe, say, an electrical engineer. You get a qualification in electrical engineer, say a degree, but you can't use anything you've learned within the classroom outside.
That's true.
You are not qualified at all. You're schooled.
That's true.
You see, so we shouldn't mix it up. You know, one of the things we do is to help people redefine really the definitions of competence, qualified and educated. To understand that it's actually beyond just the degree you got. Is how practical you can get with everything you've learned.
That's true, because we have young people who are educated who don't even have jobs.
You understand?
So
how do you explain that one? So it proves that really education is not defined by the subjects learned in class. It's actually the training, the development of the mind, the making of the mind. When after you've learned everything within the classroom and you can literally stand up on your own. I think education was basically for responsibility to engage one in work. You should be able to use what you learn within the classroom to produce work and to work, not to look up to other people to want to get something from it. Do you understand? So if truly education has made an investment into our personalities, of course we'll be outstanding outside. We won't be looking into our qualification as something that, you know, we have hinged the rest of our lives on. You understand?
Wow. Well, you wanna add something?
I totally agree with what he said. Like with education, you also need to add character. You should also look at your character. Who are you? What kind of a person you are? You know, that's why we find students who are in courses they're not even passionate about. You know, hence when it's time to go look for a job, they're not interested, and they're not applying because they don't want to be doing that for the rest of their lives. So I think it's really important to also look at the character of a person. Look at your character before you can even decide to choose which course you want to enroll in.
And that's primarily because, you see, we don't go to school to become something. We don't become electrical engineers because we study electrical engineering. You don't become a teacher because you have a degree in teaching. We go to school to study who we are. It's just a discovery of, okay, this is the person I am. I'm here to get specialized knowledge, as it were. It's the acquisition of knowledge that we're looking for so that we can be rightly, positioned to be effective in our world. So I go there because I'm this person to find out more about myself and how far I can go and how I can influence the world around me. That's the purpose for education. You understand? So we only prove to be educated only within those premises.
Wow.
Otherwise.
Wow. Guys, you heard it from them. These are the guys from Bright Minds, and truly, establishing such an organization was truly a bright idea. I mean, they educated people, young people specifically, on the purpose for education, and they're actually going out in different schools and actually teaching young people on how to be a success and giving them insight on their purpose for life. Truly inspired by you guys, and many young people out there actually burning in their hearts with such a thought that you guys have brought to the table. Now, please, before I let you go, what do you have to say for somebody sitting at home right now and they're thinking to themselves, I'm studying, all right? And they want to pursue a certain course or something like that. And, or maybe they have a certain qualification which they're sitting with at home without a job and they don't know how to go about it. As far as Bright Minds is concerned, what would you say to a young person out there? How do they go about starting and actually being an influence in life?
First of all, you should start changing the way you think, change your mentality. You know, Pastor Chris always says that thoughts are very powerful, you know. you should learn to discipline your thoughts. You should learn which thoughts to accept. That's what makes the difference between a student who is disciplined and one who isn't. So once you get a qualification, don't go out there and expect the government to do something for you. As I said earlier, you make things happen for yourself. The government doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah.
Like my colleague here said, don't be schooled, be educated.
Wow.
Yeah,
Treasure?
well, for those that are still at school, what I particularly want to say is the fact that, you know, education is beyond, you know, meeting the expectations of your parents. It's beyond, you know, the obligations of the government, the fact that you have the right to education, of which you do, but then it's more about you than any person in the world. You understand? You may not always have the time to be in the classroom. So when you're there, you know, take the time and be productive. You don't need a teacher to learn. You need your mind to learn. Well, they're there to educate you.
I like that.
But actually, you need yourself more than you need any person to learn.
Yeah.
For those that have graduated, I want to tell them that really, you're only in the university to be inspired to learn. You may not have grasped everything, but you see, the true learning is actually in the practice of everything that we have, or rather that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. So you are rather, the fact that you're qualified means you now have an obligation to work in any environment with regards to your field. You make yourself productive. The world around you is full of, you know, problems, we call them, but I say there are opportunities for you to be productive. So use what you learn at school. As far as your qualification is concerned, you are qualified now. That means you're qualified to solve certain problems, to take certain measures, you know, and do certain things.
Yeah.
Use what you have. Use what you've learned. Make the world around you better because of your education.
Wow, wow, guys, you heard it all from Bright Minds. I'm inspired and I've learned a lot. Now, guys, how do we contact you guys? Any page or any details you would like to give people at home?
Yes, you can go to our website. It's www.brightminds.org. Bright Minds with a Z, not an S.
And you can also,
Yes.
and you can also contact us. We have a page on New Codes. If you go to www.newcodes and you go to groups and you look for Bright Minds Incorporated, you'll find us right there. We will be there with a lot of content just for you.
Wow, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure to have you on set here on Student Live. Guys, you heard it all from the guys from Bright Minds. I am inspired and actually I'm enlightened as far as